It's officially over. This came after all of the members abruptly announced via Twitter that they were leaving, which initially caught everyone off guard because we didn't have any insight at all on the situation up until Platboy Max's cousin, also known as Fatboy Dip, went live and explained how FaZe was trying to charge Max $20,000 or 20% of his revenue just to be able to stay in the guest house.
I'll give you one part. Gang, you see that little townhouse? You see that little townhouse that Max was in? FaZe? They tried to make that pay 20 bands a month. What the fuck? Or give a percentage of myself. What the fuck?
So this is when everyone started to realize that whatever problems were going on with FaZe Clan probably had something to do with some sort of money. That became even more apparent after it was revealed that FaZe Banks, the former CEO of FaZe Clan, sold off his stake in FaZe to a company known as Hardscope, which is owned by Matt Kalish, who's one of the co-founders of the popular gambling app known as DraftKings. And according to Matt,
no idea what he's doing with this company.
In a recent interview with Bloomberg, after investing about $18 million in the FaZe, he came to the conclusion that the financial structure of the company was unsustainable, and according to FaZe Banks, he was right. You see, after all of these members started announcing their departure and Max's cousin went live and made these claims about Max having to pay 20% of his revenue or $20,000, this led to Banks making a post to Twitter saying that he had nothing to do with anything that was going on, which obviously nobody believed. And because no one believed that post at all, that all led to him making an entire video on Twitter. And in that video, he was talking about everything that was currently ongoing with FaZe, as well as making a claim that all of the FaZe boys were just fake towards each other, they didn't really like each other. Also talking about how entitled and ungrateful he felt that the members were. And lastly, the key part of all of this was the debt that he kept mentioning he was in due to FaZe Clan. According to Banks, he never made a single dollar off of FaZe Clan, and everyone that was involved was just getting everything for free.
Truthfully and honestly, I find you guys all to be incredibly ungrateful. I find you guys all to have insane egos, and I think it's disgusting and makes me sick to my stomach that your guys' relationships with each other and with every other streamer and your community included is so incredibly fake. You guys are the best actors on planet Earth, and you've made a complete career out of all of it. I believe these guys have had to have probably made like 20 million in the last 2 years collectively, I would guess. And not $1 of that 20 million has ever gone back to FaZe, never mind me. Even if it did ever go back to FaZe, that shit, it's not mine.
Now this video actually only made things a lot worse for FaZe because this entire situation started to get a whole lot messier after Banks made this Twitter post. Unfortunately, this whole thing went from being what happened with FaZe Clan and everyone leaving FaZe Clan to a whole Platboy Max versus FaZe Banks Twitter beef. They both started going back and forth on Twitter, and it kind of all started during Max's stream where he was addressing the reasons why he left FaZe Clan. And during that stream, he pulled up the tweet where Banks alleged that he had nothing to do with the downfall of FaZe. And after pulling that tweet up, he started laughing at it. And really throughout most of that stream, he was just throwing all types of hints about why he left FaZe. And people concluded that the person he was talking about was no other than FaZe Banks.
It's just a little bit sad that there's so many predatory people in his business, as well as people that really will pitch a life in a certain way and have totally opposite intentions. You feel me? Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, that didn't end there at all for Max or Banks because they continued to exchange words via Twitter, and this was mostly due to Max's cousin Fatboy Dip continuing to expose or try to expose Banks, claiming that things were much worse than we all knew between him and Max. He stated that Banks was trying to do crazy deals with big companies behind Max's back, and apparently one day while
I heard they were saying that like Banks was trying to essay Silky's cameraman, like talked about like how to sit on his lap for a job. I don't know. That was weird when I heard that. I was like, what?
They were in the middle of an argument during their fallout. Banks even went as far to call Max the N-word.
Yeah. You see how Max is a partner of Spotify, right? He did not have that sponsorship at first. FaZe did. And this is how it happened. They redid Max's house, right? Redid his shit. And they're like, yo, can we put up the Spotify shit for this video? It's sponsored. Max is like, yeah, whatever, that's cool. After the video, I'm like, yo, take that shit down. You're not getting paid, nigga. These niggas start saying, nah, this shit hard as shit, bro. Like, that shit just look good and make it official, bro, to Spotify, da-da-da. This shit look official. Little dude, we know they're selling his identity without letting him know. We only knew this because he left FaZe. He got the deal on Spotify. They dropped FaZe and gave it to Max. Guess how much this was for? 400 bands for 5 months. He was about to run off half the ticket off. When Max left, he called.
Bro, 400 bands for 5 months, and I'm getting paid fucking 18 an hour.
I'm like, yo, bro, why you leaving? Why you leaving? He would give him all the reason. He's like,
Right.
yo, bro, the last reason for real was you called me a. You know what this response was like?
Bro.
Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? What? And he's like, bro, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I know you said that shit. I know you said that shit. He's like, bro, I was angry, da-da-da, but keep it a buck, bro. That's not the reason you left FaZe. Keep it a buck. Don't put that on me, bro. You know I'm going through a lot, bro. You know I love you. You're going through a lot. I'm going through a lot. Don't put that on me, bro. Max like, yo, bro, I'm not going to expose that shit. Like, it don't matter. Like, I'm going to take that on the chin. I don't care, bro. I'll be the evil nigga. But you said that shit. He's like, if I did, it wasn't on no racist shit, bro. Like,
So, of course, with allegations like that being thrown around, Banks will once again take to Twitter, posting another 20-minute long video talking about why Max left FaZe. And in this video, he did actually admit to saying the N-word. He also talked about the relationship that he had with Max, stating that they seemed to be on good terms all the way up until the point where all of this drama started happening with FaZe. Also included the fact that Max wanted to rejoin FaZe Clan about a month ago. And with this, he even went on to show some DMs between him and Max. I think they were just regular text messages. And within those texts, him and Max's relationship seemed to be completely different than the narrative that was being painted online.
As it goes for this word that I said, first of all, I didn't say this targeted toward you. This wasn't said in any sort of racist connotation.
But why are you even saying it? Like, it's like, I don't understand. I'm black and I don't even say the word. That just goes to show that, I don't know. It's like, is it that hard not to say the word? Or like,
I said this word in an emotional response. And I said, all y'all.
Why does everybody always say that when they get
a mistake?
They always say that.
I'm a 34-year-old man-child, and I have many, many flaws, and I'm an idiot for saying that. But bro, stand on. If you really have a problem with that, then why has it not been a problem for the last 5 months? I've said all this directly to him. And Max, for you to like treat me like this, for you to confide in me, treat me like a mentor, ask me for advice, make me feel like we're totally 100% cool, and then do this today, you have completely proven my point, my friend. I can't believe you went live and really said, I left FaZe and y'all were on me and it was a right decision or whatever. Bro, a month ago, you asked to join back. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, but it's convenient for you to say it now.
So in the eyes of the internet, that just ended up making Max look bad. It seemed like he was just possibly trying to hate farm Banks or blame Banks for some weird reason, which all led to Max having to respond to these claims himself on Twitter. And in his response, he basically said that Banks was just taking advantage of him in a moment of vulnerability, because during this time he was in the hospital and he was just super sad and depressed. And then Banks responded on Twitter basically calling him a liar, and they just continued to go back and forth for like an entire day. It was just a very messy situation that I'm sure everyone wanted to avoid happening. But unfortunately, Max's cousin didn't stop trying to antagonize or expose Banks, which even led to Fatboy Dip putting out another allegation on Banks' name, alleging that Banks was allegedly having relations with the famous TikToker Charlie D'Amelio when she was just 17 years old.
put it on God. You wasn't fucking Charlie D'Amelio when she was 18. And I want to take that a step further. Put it on God, you ain't fucked that bitch when she was 17. Now, gang, I did a little something. Like, I see she's from Massachusetts, too. Like, you slid in her shit. Like, yo, I miss home, too. Like, I want to know how you went and that bitch. I know you that bitch because you carrying around, like, an arm trophy. can't even drink, gang.
Now, obviously, this is a very serious allegation that goes much deeper than just FaZe Clan or Twitter drama. So when something like this is put on your name, of course you have to come out and defend yourself, which is exactly what Banks would do once again via Twitter. And in that response, he talked about how disgusting it was that someone would even attach his name to something like this, and how it not only affects his life, but also affects Charlie D'Amelio's life as well. And because of this allegation and a couple other allegations that's been put on his name within the past few days, Banks finally decided that it was time to take legal action against Flatboy Max's team. Now, outside of the whole Max and Banks back and forth that just got very messy, on the bigger side of things, FaZe Clan was still crumbling. At this point, literally every single FaZe member has left the organization. I don't think there's anyone left. And I'm not just talking about the newer members.
I think the only ones that are left are Scoped and Jeff. Cause when Apex left, and I was like, damn, bro, Rug, bro, that shit was crazy, bro. I'm like, damn.
Members or the quote unquote new FaZe members. I'm talking about the OGs from Swag to Apex to even FaZe Rug. Literally everyone who was once a part of this great organization all parted ways with the company. And this was really a shocker because I never thought I'd see the day that Rug would actually leave FaZe. I mean, obviously he's big enough to the point where he doesn't need FaZe at all. But even through all of the BS that's been going on with the company over the last however many years, Rug has always stayed solid and weathered the storm, just doing his own thing, making great content over the years. So it was definitely surprising to see not only him, but Adapt leave as well. And speaking of Adapt, a little earlier today, the 6 members who this all started with would go live on Twitch to address their departure away from FaZe. And to be honest, it was kinda underwhelming because they still couldn't really say too much due to all of them still being under contracts, but they did mention that nothing was going to change amongst the group. All of them were still planning to do content together, just not under the name FaZe. After this, they all went back to their regular setups to do more of a personal stream and talk about some things with their own communities. And this seemed to be a very emotional moment for all of the members who were involved. Especially for Adapt, who's been a part of FaZe for the last 14 years of his life. He's another person who's been there through all the ups and the downs, and he always just tried to do what was best for the organization.
The one silver lining to this is I can't look back at this and say that I didn't try, you know, because I did. Like, I really did try. I did try for FaZe to keep it alive and keep it something that was cool and something that people wanted to be a part of. You know what I mean? Like, I tried so hard. I was the only one trying sometimes, you know? And it just got to a point where it's like, bro. And I would have like epiphanies throughout the year where I would just like be in a room and it would be like people arguing, or this person in FaZe arguing, and this like person on this side is arguing, and I'm just sitting here and I'm just like, why am I still here?
Now, like I said, Adapt wasn't the only one who had emotional moments.
Like
all
that.
6 of them spoke with their communities, but I wanted to highlight Ron specifically because I think outside of Adapt, within this whole little new FaZe group, Ron is the only one who's been here for a while now. So he also took the time to just talk about some of the things that was going on with the clan, as well as addressing some of the claims made by Banks about them all being fake towards each other and not liking each other and things like that.
I mean, we knew that was Cap.
Us saying we hated Max when he left. I was upset. Everyone was upset. But no, it was never hate. It was just sad. And we figured that out internally. I also see a thing that says Max wanted to join back FaZe. I told Max he shouldn't join back FaZe, and I called him before this to confirm this, and he agreed. He shouldn't join back FaZe because of all the hate that he got when he left. I did not want him to get hate rejoining.
I mean, that just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I mean, bro, you're gonna get hate no matter what. Like, I don't think, like, bro, like, who cares, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? But obviously, the real reason he should have never joined back was because of the management. Obviously, you know, not having, they had no ownership and stuff like that. That's like the only realistic reason. You know what I mean? But him, if he felt like his like, say like they actually did like have, well, see, I can't even use that argument. I can't even say if they had ownership and he just left like because he felt like he had to, because he would have never left, because he mainly left because of these main reasons. He would have never left if it, you know, if everybody else had ownership and then the org wasn't owned by some boomer ass guy. You know what I mean? But It sucks, man.
I did not want people to think that he needed us, and I did not want people to think.
But see, that's the thing. That's what you're thinking. You're thinking that in your brain. You're thinking that people that's what people think. And even if people would think that, who cares? There's something wrong with um wanting to be a part of a group anyways, you know what I'm saying? Cuz I want to do that as well. I feel like group content, like people who do groups, like, are very, like, it's special, bro. It's not just, and we all know that we don't do this for money and to like get a quick click, you know what I'm saying? We do this for like a family. It's like, it's just the fun aspects of, what it means to be a family and stuff like that. So I don't know, bro. Like,
That he got forced into this, that he felt bad. I told Max, and we sat there in the hospital, and I told him, always believe in yourself, etc. I'll always defend you. I'll always be in your corner, and I'm proud of you. And it was never a thing of I wanted him to join back, because I knew there were still problems internally with each other, with everything else. With everything else.
Now, on the bright side, while this has been a very emotional day for anyone who's a fan of FaZe or any member of FaZe, anyone who's been attached to FaZe at any point of their lives, on the bright side, we did get confirmation that this FaZe group that we've all grown accustomed to over the last 2 years was still going to be doing content together, as I said, just not under the name FaZe. They promised that the content was going to remain the same and that nothing was going to change amongst the group. And not only that, but according to the official FaZe Twitter and FaZe Kson as well, who also left the company today too, even though FaZe is seemingly no longer a thing on the content and streaming side, the esports side of FaZe Clan will continue running as normal, which is pretty good news for anyone who enjoys watching the FaZe esports teams.
With our group, but at the same time, I'm also not going to abandon FaZe Esports. And I'm making that very clear that it is a separate entity. People were worried that there was going to be a massive impact on the FaZe Esports side, and I'm here to tell you guys that there is going to be no impact whatsoever to FaZe Esports. The CS team is fine. Our Call of Duty team, who has also an incredible owner in Paul Hamilton, who is one of the greatest esports owners in the industry.
Now, for the very sad ending to close this chapter out, after everyone made their announcements about leaving FaZe, Banks would officially announce via Twitter that this was the end of FaZe as we know it, and how he plans to just give up and quit. In my opinion, I think this all ended rather terribly, and it was definitely to the point of no return if members like Rug and Adapt jumped ship as well, which is very unfortunate, because you would think with all of this kind of happening before back in the past with FaZe, they would have some type of way to handle this whole situation better, or at least have the mentality that some things are just bigger than money. They were dominating as a group. They've won Org of the Year back-to-back years. They're coming off of great subathons where every member hit over 100,000 subscribers. I mean, literally, they've been nothing but successful since the new FaZe era started. So it's definitely unfortunate to see that FaZe Clan has once again ended over some money, and this time I think it's to the point of no return. But that's just my personal opinion. As you guys know, the only opinion that I really care about is you guys' opinion. So with that being said, be sure to comment down below and let me know, what do you think about this entire situation? Do you think FaZe Clan is actually over? Who do you think was in the wrong? Do you think Banks deserves all of this hate he was getting? Let me know down below. And while you're at it, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join me on my journey to 25.
I don't know why, but like, I'm so delusional to even believe that FaZe is not really dead. And the reason why I say this is, look, hear me out, right? I think that, now, mind you, what if Mr. Beast just buys the company off them, and then just gives the ownership to to them, and let them just do their thing? He listen. My son could come in clutch. You feel what I'm saying? He can really just come in clutch. But regardless of the situation, right? That guy who owns FaZe, like majority of FaZe, he's retarded, right? We know, but he knows that this is never going to be a profitable org. Like, it don't matter what you do with this name, it's never going to be a profitable org, because everybody who knows the name FaZe knows what it represents, and no matter what you try to turn this brand into, it's gonna fail. It's always gonna fail. So your best interest is to just give the ownership to the OGs, bro. And until that time comes, FaZe will still be dead, but if that time actually comes, then it can get resurrected. Now, what would I do if it got resurrected? The same thing. The same thing. Bring those guys back, right? And then Two, I would start a FaZe Call of Duty channel, bring people who are the core Call of Duty, FaZe members back, like that embodied Call of Duty, and um have a separate YouTube channel for that. Just how like they have a FaZe channel, make it called FaZe Call of Duty for on YouTube, and then boom, every single person who still does Call of Duty, the sniping and all that, they that's just or just Call of Duty in general. Boom, that's their lane. And then FaZe Clan, the actual like you know YouTube channel, it could be like a collaboration of the newer FaZe, the Call of Duty FaZe, and the OGs, like the OGs meaning like the actual people like FaZe Rain, Tico, Sensor. Well, Sensor wasn't, I mean, I don't think he will come back, but I'm just saying like people like that, like what is Apex, obviously, Rug, basically everybody who was back then, like that should be them coming back. Oh, FaZe Blaze and stuff like that, like and stuff like that. Like I would say like they wouldn't have to be like a part of I mean, they can associate themselves with the new phase if they feel like it, if they want to. But that's what I'm saying though. That's what I'm basically saying. So I think that's a good thing though. I think that would be good. And yeah. But people might be like, "Oh, that's too much. It's too crowded." Nah, it's not, because you have the OGs. You got the OGs running the show, and then you got the phase Call of Duty side, got and then the esports side too, and then you got the FaZe content creator side, the FaZe Clan side, which is the OGs, or like a collaboration of all of them into that one channel, right? And then you got the new FaZe, and that's it. There's three things. That's all you need, and then you're good. You're good, and just keep doing your thing. That's what I would do to revive it again, right? And obviously, do not bring no other people involved. Don't. We obviously know they would never do that at that point, but just saying. But hey, man. But I guess till then, it's dead. But fingers crossed. Hopefully, his dumbass realized that he can't profit off it. So, yeah, phase up, I guess.